What is up, ladies? It is Stanky, and I'm back with another replay analysis, but I'm doing Fear Dodo. He is playing the Earth Spirit here. So I chose this game because it looked like a close game, and there's a lot of pros in it, so it seemed pretty interesting. It's a pub game, but I also wanted to learn a bit more about Earth Spirit, so I've done a bit of reading just through the wiki. It's actually really useful if you want to learn a bit more about a hero, and because you don't tend to read everything in detail, especially on heroes you don't play a lot. So I learn a bit about Earth Spirit and learn a bit how Fear plays, because I think he's got a huge wealth of Dota knowledge and is obviously very good at this hero and just a very good roamer in general. So I just wanted to try to learn a little bit from how he plays. And so I'll just go through who the pros are in this game. This is Shazam playing the Elder Titan, Mid One playing the Anti-Mage, S4 on Lesh, Fear on Earth Spirit, and then AUI 2000 and Moo from DC playing Clock. So anyway, if you watch out, this is as soon as the game starts. He starts TPing before he buys his items, which is like pretty sick. So obviously he knows what he's going to buy. He just buys his TP, starts the TP, buys the 4 items he wants, and he's off. And he places this ward, which is a bit unusual, but no, he thought about that one, but then goes to place this top ward. It's quite a tricky ward to place, actually. I always try to cast it to place it from up here, and I always end up getting pathed and stuff. So you have to go right down to there, and you can do that little trick that I talked about in one of my other videos, where you hold down, like my quick tip video, I think, where you hold down Alt and walk into the cliff. So then it won't try to walk you around the cliff. Hopefully you guys can find that video. I'm not going to bother linking it. It was my quick tip video. It's the only one I've done. So if you want to know more about that. So he's rolling in here. There's a big ass fight going on. I like this little stutter step that he does. So he sort of hits and then walks down, hits and walks down, because he's expecting him to jump, and he wants to, like, maximize the time in between attacking, moving towards where he's going to go. And if he doesn't need to go down, then he can just turn back, and he doesn't actually miss any time because it's the downtime between attacks. And this is quite cool. He rolls out, and then I was wondering where he was going here, but the plan was to just kill time on the cooldown of Rolling Boulder, because he can't go this way, and if the Venge runs up here, then he can't really go that way either. So he was just trying to hide, and the Rolling Boulder breaks trees, so that path was broken down, so it's a good spot to hide. And then he just rolls back up. Like I said, I've looked up a few things about Earth Spirit, and I learned some stuff, and I'm not sure how much you guys know about Earth Spirit, but it's obviously going to be varied. I won't go over all the obvious stuff about all of how his skills work, because it's pretty complicated and there's a lot of them, but I'll go over the stuff that I learned, or that I think a few people might not know, but I'm not going to just talk about them all in a list. I'll kind of go over them as they come up in gameplay. So he brought out a smoke and I think a clarity on the smoke and a clarity on the courier straight away, and that's fine because it's not going to interfere with the mid's bottle timing. Obviously he sort of organizes his team a little bit, right? Because a lot of times in this game people are following him and doing what he's saying, so I think he is a little bit of a in-game leader as such. He does a cool play here. He's looking at going for this kill, but he doesn't do it straight away, and he does something I've never even thought about doing before. So when they pull this camp here, what he does is get the aggro of these 2 creeps onto him, and he does it on purpose because he stands in front of them and tanks damage, and he runs them up out of aggro range of these creeps. So when they finish killing that one, they're just going to run back to lane, and now they're not getting denied anymore, and it'll hopefully fix the lane equilibrium. So he rolls into this kind of knowing he's going to get stunned, but he gets the slow off and doesn't actually get an attack on Orb of Venom until afterwards, but he gets the slow and allows them to get the kill. But yeah, that's a really useful technique for camps, for resetting aggro if your opponent gets a pull off. Obviously you don't want to let them get a pull in the first place, but if they do, that's quite a handy trick. So the lane equilibrium still isn't perfect, but it's better than it would have been, and it's kept those creeps alive, and now the Dazzle can pull his own stack, so pull and stack it. So he's just hanging around waiting for the wave to reset and looking for another opportunity to kill or just get some XP from this side camp. So he's trying to stay out of range of vision of them the whole time. So if we look from the Void's perspective, let's see what he can see. This whole time he's moving, he's staying up here. I think he might cross across here a little bit, yeah. But he's trying to stay out of the... Yeah, he fucks up there a little bit, but he's trying to stay out of the vision radius of Void, so he doesn't know whether he's exactly where he is at all times. He thought about rolling down on him there, but didn't, I think. He backs up here like he's going to smoke. This is quite a common way to go if you're going to pop a smoke, because then you get out of vision of the mid wards, but decides not to, I think, because the lane is pushing in mid, so there's no real point him smoking at the moment. It's not actually that great of a time to gank mid, but he finds this Elder Titan, and you'll notice here, I think does he still drop a stone remnant? He does. So that's something I learned from reading as this came up naturally, is that again, some of you guys will probably know this, but I don't play Spirit a lot. The rolling boulder doesn't actually apply the 80% movement slow unless you use a boulder when you roll with it. So if you just do the standard 800 distance roll and hit him, it still hits him and rolls onto the other side of him, but doesn't apply the slow duration. Well, that's what Wikipedia said anyway. So. Now he's chasing around here forever. Goes for the silence, so he can't get stomp off. I think he cast his remnant and his spirit, and he was about to stomp. Silence is at mid cast, so he won't get it off. I think he just has a standard roll there. He might have tried to roll over this, but you're sort of hedging your bets if you don't put a remnant down there, because if he does dodge it, he's not in like a choke point, so it's relatively easy to dodge because of the long cast time. And if he does dodge it, then you don't roll away 1600 range and then be 10 million miles away from where you need to be. So there's a long chase for the Lesh there, and kind of puts him a little bit off in the mid lane. And this Elder Titan's being really annoying for the Lesh mid. So he's healed up here, bought 2 TPs. S4 had to waste his cell, which is really annoying. He missed the silence on him here. This is something, if you watch any sort of Spirit play, you'll see them do a lot, but they can actually cast all of their spells during rolling boulder, so they'll often do a kick or a silence during the roll. So he starts his roll, and then he drops the remnant in front of him, and he drops the remnant here and pulls it towards himself, but the puck dodges the remnant cast and kills the Leshrac, which is a real bugger for him to down. If he was level 3 here, this would have been a big difference. So he purposely breaks the chain here. I think if he stays there for too long, the Elder Titan can just walk up and stun him. So sometimes normally your instinct is to just not break the puck coil, but there are instances where it's actually correct to break it. Especially at level 1, because the break stun duration is only 1.5 seconds, and at level 3 it's 3 seconds, so it's a bit less scary to break early on. So he's just hanging around mid. The mid's having a bit of a hard time. He's died, the Elder Titan's pushing it, so he's just trying to counter that and sort of stay out of vision and reinitiate. So if the puck decides to swap in and go on the Lesh, then he can jump in. This is where Earth Spirit's most dangerous, at level 3. I mean, in the early, he's dangerous all the fucking time, but then like when he hits 6 and stuff as well. But when you become very effective when you with your roaming when you hit level 3 compared to level 2. Cool. So he's just babysitting mid for a bit. So let's go back. I skipped over a bit too far. So this is what I was talking about. So the puck initiates on him here, so he's going to go straight in probably. Problem is they do so much freaking damage. It takes too long for them to actually be able to. So he goes for the straight silence, but the puck dodges it again, and he actually walks into the stun from Elder Titans. That was pretty bad. I wonder if he would have been better to just go for a kick first. I guess you can see the kick coming though. Like the kick doesn't actually travel that fast. I think the both the travel speed of the kick and the width of the stun have both been nerfed in recent-ish patches. So the Puck's really overcommitted under tower here, and he's got heaps of creeps on him. He's going for this kill on the dazzle, but so he's quite happy to fight him there. Most of his spells are down as well, most or all of them. So he's heading for the 6-minute rune. He's asking the Lesh if he wants it. Nope. He doesn't need it, his bottle's full. So again, a lot of sitting middle and a lot of... He actually hit his silence this time. Did he just go for the straight silence first? If you watch... This will be nothing new to people that watch a lot of Earth Spirit, but he went for the kick this time. And he just, he did dodge it like I say. But now he can silence him. Did he silence? When did he actually silence? He kicks it. And then he pulled the creep. He actually misclicked. So, well, I assume he didn't want to pull the creep, but he was trying to pull. If he was trying to pull the remnant back, but so he's just chilling. The only spell that he has up is Rolling Boulder. He's going to use it here on the Venge at the top of this cliff, which is where he's expecting him to run. It misses. He's going to back off back to lane. One of the other things I learned was with Rolling Boulder. Sorry, Stone Remnant. Normally, I'd always just clicked it to cast, like, actually like push the button and clicked on the ground where I want it. But I didn't know that you could double click it to self cast, and it casts it directly in front of your hero. Because I don't know why I didn't think to try that, but I mean, like, I don't know. I guess I was thinking about the remnant from. Oh, this is cool as well. From Ember Spirit is the word. Which you have to cast. You don't really self cast that. Like, I don't know. Anyway, this bit here, he rolls max move speed, so max distance, and goes for immediate kick stun. So he casts it right here. And you have to cast this very close to where you're going to land, because the actual stun radius is very, the radius in which the Boulder Smash picks up around your hero is really small. It's only like 160. So you have to, if you're going to roll and then go for a kick, you can actually do it along the distance of the roll. So if you're rolling down here, you can drop a remnant like here, and then as you roll past, you can spam click Q over this way or something, and as soon as you get to it, you'll do a stun. He does that a bit later, but there he did it kind of at the end of his roll. But if you are doing it, you have to be very careful that you place the one that you want to kick directly in the path of where you're going to roll. And it's a lot easier to do when you double click the Stone Remnant, because like, I picked it up from him doing it. I was like, how did he, like, he did a full distance roll, but he wasn't looking in front of him when you placed the remnant. So you can look exactly where you want to roll, and then start the rolling boulder, double click D to drop your remnant, and then you can still see the part of the map where you rolled to. So you don't lose vision of it, so you can place the boulder exactly what you want it. So I'm going to pause here. Did he buy this salve, or has he had that the whole game? Must have picked that up. He's gone for boots and an early wand. The spirit's relatively item independent, but it's just normally looking to pick up things like mana boots, mobility items, and occasionally if the team needs some sort of utility, he'll go for that, like mechs and stuff, 4 staffs. This game I think he actually goes Midas first. I don't know why. I'm not bit of much insight into his item decisions, but I assume it's just to help with him keep up in levels. So this is just an easy couple of kills here. It's a bit of a misplay by the Radiant. So he actually doesn't go back to base there, he just... Did he pick up? I bought a tomb. So yeah, valuing the XP, clearly. Every level you get on Earth Spirit in the early game is hugely important. So he rolls here. Again, I think this is... He does the thing where he rolls, if you look, he's not even really on screen when he casts the roll. So he clicks W exactly where he wants to, and then double clicks D in front of him to cast the Remnant, and then he drops this one and kicks it before he actually gets there. So you start the roll, double click D in front of you, and then pushes D, clicks there, and then start spam clicking Q the whole time to kick the boulder. So you stun them, roll over top. Gives them no chance, really no chance to react, because you're rolling in at like 1,000 move speed. That's the other thing you might not know. Like you do roll further when you use a Remnant with rolling boulder, but you also roll twice as fast. So actually casting it directly in front of you rather than like halfway along your path, which is what I would do when I scrubbily played Earth Spirit a lot of the time, was it means you actually roll the whole distance quicker. You get there at twice as quickly. So if you only cast it halfway along, it's going to slow. You're going to be going half the distance at 500 ms and half the distance at 1,000. So this is a huge play. He kicks the boulder, gets the double stun. I'll show it again in case you missed it. Walks up here. I think he double taps D to cast the Remnant. Yeah, and then clicks. This is useful for everything, right? Like you don't have to click in front of you and then push Q and click. So he gets this double stun, walks up to anti-mage, casts his ulti, and then drops the Remnant here, pulls it back, and it's all during the duration of the stun, which is why it's important to level this first, because it increases the stun duration so you can do these sort of combos. And then he's got the ulti going off on anti-mage and silences both the heroes, and because he does the whole boulder thing over here and pulls it back towards himself, it pops the boulder from the ultimate on anti-mage and spreads it to the other guy as well, to the void. I'm assuming you guys know how magnetize works, so if you don't, you can look it up. It spreads when you drop boulders, basically. And chasing this kill around the place. He's working on his Midas. Oh, this is another thing, like real little thing, but one of my pet peeves in Dota games. Sorry, I'll skip back to where we were. So he's killing this creep, right? But as soon as he sees this, he's off. He's running top and he leaves the creep. It was like 2 hits, maybe 3 from dead. But I know so many people that will continue to kill that fucking creep when there's like an important hero on their team dying, or an important hero from the other team that is killable, or a huge team fight breaking out, and they're like, oh no, I want to finish farming the wave before I go. And I'm sure I'm guilty of it sometimes as well, but like, fuck it. I don't know, it's just annoying. And he goes back to it and clears it afterwards. Like, you're not going to miss out, assuming you win the fight. It's much more important to be punctual to team fights. So this is a really cool play. He like roams mid. The hopes of their team are top. His TP's down, so he's kind of out of position. But instead of showing himself on the map and like pushing mid here, he just chills and then goes and farms this like medium camp, I think. He's hunting around, I guess, for a kill on someone who blinks in to these camps to farm. They're like, maybe anti-mage is going to come blink in, but AIM ends up going middle. So he's pinging him out. Clockwork is keen for some action. He comes in, rockets him to get him a bit low. Tries to keep an eye on him. I don't know how they can see him there. Do they have vision of him somehow, or is that just a replay bug? Replay bug by the looks. So he goes back to middle here, and he's a bit low from farming the ancients and the rockets. So he goes for a kill. He actually hides here, I think, and the anti-mage blinks on him. And now he doesn't need to silence him straight away because he's just blinked. So his blink's on cooldown. So he drops his ultimate. He's about to try to path him, so he boulder smashes to break the tree and stun him, so that the clock sets up the hook for Clockwork as well, and then casts the silence. He goes for a straight TP here. Hashtag genius. Always try to keep a mental check, especially important when you're playing heroes like Furion and stuff, who can TP out. But really, any hero really that has a TP. Keep like a mental note of what stuns the enemy team have. Not the whole team, well you can, but like if you're getting ganked by 2 heroes and they use their stuns, then or only one of them has a stun and they use it, you're free to bail out of that with a TP. So, speaking of which, I think you might have seen from one of the recent frames where I think someone tried to do it. I can't remember now. If you directly target Boulder Smash on a hero, it doesn't actually stun them. So you know how you can like push Q and click over here and it'll kick your remnant? If you want to cast it on a creep, you have to push Q and click on the creep and it'll kick it. You can do the same thing on a hero. So if you push Q and click directly on a hero, it'll kick them and they'll do damage to stuff that they hit and they'll fly away, like the 800 range or whatever. But compared to the 2000 that a remnant would, but they don't get stunned. So if you just need it to do damage to kill them, that's fine, but if they're TPing away and they need to, and you want to cancel it, you actually have to cast the remnant and kick it at them. So yeah, he does this sort of stuff. It's like he grabs the nakes into him and ultis onto him and then TPs top to look for ganks. So this is where I actually first noticed the rolling thing. So he's completely off screen and he rolls towards him, double clicks his remnant, throws this one here and silences as he's rolling. So he gets the silence off straight away on anti-mage. And it's a 4-second silence and he doesn't have manta, so he's just dead. Can't manta off the silence. So he's always looking for people on the map that are out of position that are killable, and it's easy to see here because he's got this nice lane ward, so he can tell that their team isn't like sitting behind anti-mage or whatever. So fucking clowny, man. And now he's hiding. Staying off the map, right? Like, too many people don't value the presence enough of not showing yourself when you're playing these kind of heroes. Like the bounty hunters and the... I talked about it a little bit in McClink's game. Spirit, Tusk, Spirit Breaker. Again, rolls, silences before he gets to him. He doesn't dodge it this time. He wasn't expecting it, right? And then he ultis, drops his remnant right in front of him, kicks it at the puck to stun him, and gets the hell out. Easy peasy. He doesn't use his Midas though, so noob. Yeah, saving it for a big creep, I guess. He was looking for the anti-mage, I guess, but oh, fuck! They do these too late at night sometimes. And I get the fucking yawns. I think it's from talking so much. So I don't normally yawn when I'm just sitting here playing. So he does this thing here I was talking about before, where he rolls and kicks before he finishes rolling. So he's got the nakes in him, real deep inside him, real deep like. He rolls, and then he drops the remnant right in his roll path, and then he fucks it up. But he's spamming Q to kick it, and he tries to kick the remnant to stun, misses them, and then he just gets the double silence afterwards. But the idea was that during his roll, at the end, you know, he would drop the remnant, kick it at both of them, and get the stun. Rather than roll in, awkwardly stop, drop your remnant, and then kick it, and give them time to like react and dodge and that sort of stuff. Or stun him or something. So he does the direct targeted kick thing here. I think he was just going for damage because he's out of remnant, so he only has one left. No, he's got none. So he just walks up to that creep and kicks the creep to try to damage him, but he's already dead. Took me a while to figure out which one Fear was on the frickin' Dota buff page because they've all changed their names to something random. I guess because they're not playing much at the moment. Their roster is not. It's another frustrating thing about Pro Dota. So they all have these random tags. Aui's the only one on the team that actually has the proper name. So I had to like click on each of them and figure it out by what heroes they were playing. So again, not showing in lane, staying in fog. But if you're here, you may as well punch some small creeps, right? Get a bit of fun. Like he's got mech, like I talked about, like the Arcane Boots mech. Just a bit of utility. Not much team fights going on in this game. Mech's really good, and they do have a lot of AoE magical damage, like the Puck and the Elder Titan both do some decent AoE, so you can just pop mech to sort of counteract a lot of that. And also, when he gets the fancy boots, the Guardian Greaves, that purges silence, which you can, purge Puck silence with, which is obviously quite important for Earth Spirit. And he gets the nakes inside of him, goes for the roll, but he rolls straight into a chrono. Kills the Puck though, so that's the important thing. And he actually got the kick stun off as well before before he got in the chrono. So if he had it on it the normal way, or dropping it once he finished rolling, he wouldn't have stunned the void, and he would have, he missed a few attacks during his chrono duration. So his chrono essentially did bugger all because he was stunned for 2 seconds, 2.25 if we're going to be particular. He just rolls out. So if you're just rolling out to escape like that just to get up a cliff or something, you don't need to bother using your stone remnant because you're just wasting them. They replenish kind of slowly. You only have 6 at max, and if you drop them, they actually last a while on the map, and you can have 9. So if you're not really doing anything and you're sitting in lane a lot, you could always just drop one and let it regen again, and then you've got it around for later if you happen to need it. Wow, so he does that a bit weird. He fucked up here, I think. He rolled, and then he dropped the remnant on the other side, like on the wrong side of the Venge. Oh no, he kicked it. I lie, he didn't fuck up, so he stunned him. But then he walks into a stun from this, but it's kind of hard because they were stunning both sides. No, that's fine. I thought he dropped it in front of him and then went for a pull, which would have missed. But. So he went for a roll TP, because you can actually start your TP during the roll duration, but he doesn't have any more spirits up, so it's up. So it was just a, minimum distance roll. And the puck kills him, unfortunately. But they baited in the Elder Titan, so good. All part of the master Fear plan. S4 is starting to make a little bit of a comeback after his bad start. Yeah. Just checking levels. Something pros do a lot, which I barely ever do it. I'm trying to train myself to do a bit better. They hit whatever their button is, mine's F5, but and check for levels. So the Phantom Mages hit level 16 or whatever. You can keep track of what level ultimate they have. It's relevant for like cooldowns and that sort of thing, I guess, but mostly relevant for in the early game when you're looking to see who's at level 6.
Time is money.
I guess also little things, right? Like Puck, you can, if you know what level he is, you'll know what level his phase shift is. Because Pucks always max their, their Q and W first before their phase shift. And that can be relevant with regards to, stunning after phase shift, or whether he can actually have phase shift long enough to refresh his blink disable. Like you can't blink after you get hit. But if you get hit right before you phase shift, it's only level 4 phase shift that'll work. So little things like that. Here's the silence here on Park. He doesn't go for the stun straight away. I probably would have stunned there to try to save the dazzle, but I guess it worked out anyway. He's got an anti-mage. They're just trying to stay in the back of the fight. They're not really in a good position there. They got a couple of kills, but the Leshrak's top, he can die pretty quickly to this Puck and stuff if he gets a bit caught out, and the anti-mage is starting to get kind of scary now. So he's not really farming, right? He's just sort of moving around the map, looking for opportunities. He's not taking up the jungle farm that, Lesh and Nax and stuff are looking for. How many last hits has he got? 37, not a lot. So he doesn't waste a remnant there. He just kicks the creep to get the creep damage. So this is the tricky bit, right? Because you're trying to... He's pinging him out. He wants some help from someone. He's just trying to keep him off him, juke a little bit. He was trying to get to a point where he could roll in Boulder out without dying. Without clipping the anti-mage, but that was really good play by mid one. He waited for him to roll and then blinked onto the other side of him. So it hit him during the roll, and then he got stuck there. It was interesting though, he didn't flip to the other side like you're meant to, I guess because there's no space in the trees, so he just stayed above him. bit weird though, like he didn't use his stun as silence or anything. I feel like he could have maybe stunned him and then rolled out. Oh, and dead with Midas up as well. Disaster. Okay. So TP's back in. Pops Midas, of course. First things first. Remember that you don't have to be... You can be relatively liberal with your Guardian Greaves, right? Like the cooldown's actually pretty short. This team's getting pretty ham here. So he's always just floating around in the back of the fight, right? Like he's never up actually hitting anything. He doesn't want to get caught in Chrono. Because if he's outside of Chrono when it goes off, and he can... There we go, that's cool. Hit the stun as soon as he came down from Yules. And he just wants to get up here, I guess, and pop ulti. His Void's dead, so he can get a bit closer. He wants to drop ulti on the anti-mage, and then he can sort of spread it from there. But he blinks out, which is fine, because now he has to go base and wait out the duration of the ulti while they take the racks. Goes for the stun here to help Ali kill the Venge. Yeah, he's got silenced up though, so he can't do much else. Should probably silence the anti-mage here because he's already manted. Wonder why he didn't do that. He's still got remnants. Maybe he just didn't think to, or didn't realise his silence had ended. He's got 4 remnants, he could have just gone for a... Dropped a remnant here, silenced the AM, and he probably would have died. Unusual mistake from the old man. So he's trying to wait out the duration of the stun from Clock. And Clock actually does the good thing too, where he walks over here and pops his cogs to bounce him away. But they do end up stacking a little bit. But it's fine because Manta's down apparently. Yeah, looks like we're just going to walk them over here and finish the game. I'll see if there's anything else that I wrote down about Earth Spirit that I didn't talk about. I think it was most of them except for that his Rolling Boulder still hits invisible targets, which I didn't know. You still learn stuff about Dota even when you've been playing it forever, or at least I do anyway. Which I guess can be useful if you're chasing someone and you don't like know where they are, but they're going to walk up a choke point or something. After they go invis, so you can have a pretty good guess. He does the Rolling Boulder TP again. Smokes himself just for move speed because he wants to get back. Game's pretty much over, it's just sort of clowny at this point. Oh, he picked up an Arcane rune, that's pretty hilarious. Probably the best rune you can get on Earth Spirit. I think it actually works for Stone Remnant charges, because Octarine does it anyway. Octarine works. Reduces the cooldown of his skills, but also increases the speed that Stone Remnants regenerate. It's just fucking around now, so we'll leave it at that. Cool. Hope you guys learned some things. Give me some some requests on what pro you want to see me do next, and also I'm thinking I might do for my next video. I might do a sub replay review of one of you guys. So I'm normally looking for someone who's sort of between sort of 2 and 4K is kind of my goal, I guess. If you're outside of that, still feel free to apply. But I had a list of guys that I sort of had in order on a spreadsheet to do, but I don't know if that's the best way to do it. I still don't know what the best is, so I apologize to you guys who asked a while ago who I said I'd put you on the list, but I didn't make any promises, and my apologies if you've been waiting. But I think if you comment on this video, give me a link to a Dota buff game, and I'll hopefully be able to do a favour for the people that are actually still watching my videos and watching them to the end. So there you go. Cool. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys shortly. Cheers.